Alright, guys. So, we're going to talk about it. I had some questions about it, and, I get this all the time. Are demon hunters OP? And I'm going to prove that they're not completely OP. They're doing well, but they're not OP by any means of the imagination. But that's okay for people to think that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over real numbers on mythic encounters, and we're going to see what players are bringing what classes to what fights. Because these top end guilds that are doing mythic are bringing the best players at certain classes. They gear up classes to do the most DPS. So let's go ahead and check out what's going on in the charts. So as you can see on this first boss, you do not see any demon hunters at all for top 10. The top 2 are hunters, topping out at 1.8 million for both of them DPS. We have a fire mage at 1.7. We have 2 affliction warlocks at 1.7. We have 2 more fire mages at 1.7, 1.6. We have another affliction warlock at 1.6. We have an elemental at 1.6, and we have a balance at 1.6 million DPS. So, what that shows me here is even though demon hunters are supposed to be super OP when it comes to AoE, there are some other classes that do a lot more AoE damage, obviously, right? When you're looking at hunter and like affliction warlock and fire mage, they are very, very devastating when it comes to AoE damage. So, that, just kind of shows that the big AoE demon hunter is not as powerful as some people think. Not saying they're not good, because they are really good, but they're just not, top tier for AoE classes. Alright, so single target pretty much on this next fight. This is where demon hunters shine. We do really well, right? Well, we're not number 1, but we do have 3 players in a row for demon hunters, so that does show demon hunter is doing really well. Alright, so we have number 1, we have an elemental shaman at number 1, doing a single target DPS, amazing, right? At 1 million DPS. We have a frost mage doing 1 million DPS. We have a red doing 1 million DPS. And then we come into the demon hunters, which is 1 mil, and then it goes into the fewer there. But we do also have some warriors in there. We have a rogue in there. So it's pretty diverse when it comes to that single target with that haste buff, and it just gets really crazy, right? And that's where, a lot of damage comes from, is that in haste buff, and people are just going crazy. So classes that really benefit from that haste buff are going to be doing, pretty well. So there's no demon hunters are not on top on that fight. So let's go ahead and go to the next fight. This is the third fight in Nighthold. Well, surprisingly, we have Frost Death Knights at top on this, and we have Demon Hunter all the way at number 9. So Frost Death Knights are 4 spots out of the top 10 in world rankings right now for DPS on this. We also have a Frost Mage. We have another Hunter there. We have another Warrior there, and another Warrior. So Warriors are doing really well too. And we do have a Demon Hunter, which is all the way at 9th on that fight. So pretty interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the next fight. Alright, this is kind of an AoE fight. No Demon Hunters at all. But we do have Frost Death Knights. So all 3 top spots are Frost Death Knights, followed by 2 Hunters. Elemental Shaman. Another Hunter, a Mage, a Monk. We haven't seen Monks yet. And then a Balance. Pretty interesting. No Demon Hunters on that fight. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Conjurus. Fun fight. Pretty AoE heavy in situations. No Death Knights here also. Or no Demon Hunters here. No Death Knights also. But no Demon Hunters. We have another Hunter, a Mage. We have a Monk, a Druid. We got some Shadow Priests in here. Mage, Hunter, Shadow Priest again. Mage, and a Hunter. But no Demon Hunters. And the DPS they're pulling on this fight is crazy. You know, we got 1.2, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, a mil. All these are million DPS onto Conjurus, which is super impressive. But no Demon Hunters in sight. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the next boss. So this is like completely like DPS check on this next boss. Single target, let's go ham. Alright, so we have some Demon Hunters in this one. So we have 4 Demon Hunters in here. The number 1 is actually a Fury Warrior. And we actually have 3 Fury Warriors. And the top Fury Warrior is only 899 eye level. And this second Demon Hunter, or the first Demon Hunter, but second on the list, is 905. So, and their kills were very similar to time. So, that's pretty interesting. We also have Frost Death Knights. It's pretty interesting there too. So we have 3 classes that are going for this like single target damage here. We have Fury Warrior, Havoc Demon Hunter, and Frost Death Knight. All very competitive in numbers. I say that's pretty interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the last fight that we currently have info on. We have Botanist. Alright. A lot of Shadow Priest in there. A lot of Shadow Priest in there. We got Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Frostmage, Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Shadow Priest, Elemental Shaman. Alright. So, these are all real numbers. We do have some Havoc Demon Hunters in the rankings. But this does not mean Havoc Demon Hunters are OP. It does not mean anything like that. Their playstyle is different. Their playstyle is easy, but their playstyle is very dependent on RNG with our crits. Our crits are very, very important. When it comes to the Demon Hunter, you're going to, if you look at logs, you could be doing the exact same thing as another Demon Hunter. The exact same thing. For cast. But if that Demon Hunter's crit is better than yours, and your gear, both gear is kind of optimal, and he just has higher crit on his gear, he will do more DPS than you. 100%. His burst is going to be higher. His transitions are going to be higher. His fury getting back is going to be higher. Everything is going to be higher. Do I like the playstyle of Demon Hunter right now? I do like the playstyle of Demon Hunter. There are a lot of Demon Hunters that want to go back to the momentum build, right? You can definitely go back to the momentum build. That's something that is not hard to do. All you have to do is switch some talents. If you want to go back to that playstyle, go for it. You're not losing that much DPS. When people look at like top end on DPS charts, they're like, well, you have to go these talents because these don't work. Doesn't make sense for Demon Hunter because a lot of the stats and the talents, or a lot of the talents, I apologize, not stats, talents are, you can interchange those very easy with minimal loss. So if you like a certain way of playing, you're going to be doing similar DPS. You might not be doing maximum DPS, but you're going to be doing similar DPS. So, that said, for anybody that's saying Demon Hunter is OP, Demon Hunter is the best, Demon Hunter is topping charts on every single fight, it's simply just not true. And these are real numbers from real players. These are not sims. These are actual players in Mythic that are doing these fights. So, that said, like, favorite, share, subscribe. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings that are dead set on Demon Hunters being OP. I wish they were, trust me. I would love to do like 200,000 more DPS than everybody. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. And if you do have a Demon Hunter that is blowing you up in a random heroic, just remember, Demon Hunters do have the best burst in game. The shorter the fight, the more numbers we end with. So, that's pretty much about it. Alright guys, like, favorite, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. And maybe I'll eventually do a melee versus range, or like a melee top charts and a range top charts on a lot of these fights, so you guys can see what classes are doing the best on certain fights. I think it would be kind of interesting to find that out, just gutting out melee versus range. So, pretty interesting. All right, guys. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon.